Welcome to the From the 108 podcast, starring the drunk uncles of White Sox Twitter. He's a Twitter like whore, an Instagram thirst trap, and your grandma's guilty pleasure. Beef loaf. A West Coast attitude in a decidedly Midwest body, My Sock Summer. And your host. He's sharing obscure music thoughts to give you time to hit the bathroom. Teresa E.
Thank you, Cornsey, and welcome to the From the 108 podcast. Get ready for some bullshit, booze, and bullshit with very little baseball. And remember the drinking rules. If Beef Loaf says allegedly, or that he manifested that, you drink. If My Sock Summer talks about the gym or calls us lazy, you drink. And if I talk music or have an awkward pause as we take this train right off the fucking tracks, you drink. And of course, you can make us all drink for $1.08 or more. More. Speaking of drinking, fellas, what are you drinking? Beef Loaf, what are you drinking tonight?
Oh, boys. I busted out the bottle of Añejo Patron.
Oh, whoa.
And it's pretty full. I haven't had very much of it, so...
You drink the whole thing?
Looking to make a dent in that. I'm not planning to. No, I have work tomorrow, even though I just have a work event. But I'm not going to plan to do that. I'm a social drinker tonight with you guys. I'm going to let you guys be the hardcore drinkers.
You're going to Wrigley tomorrow, right?
Yes, sir. I'll be at Wrigley Field
Nice.
tomorrow. You're damn right.
Oh, wait a second. So you ain't got work?
Well,
Yeah.
I got to be
Kinda lame.
with work people. You know what I mean?
MSS,
That's
this is
bullshit.
bullshit.
That's a
This is
bullshit
bullshit
claim.
because, like,
Yeah.
if I were, like, I'm gonna show you the difference in our day if this were gonna happen. If I were working, I get to work at about 7:15. Someone farts in my elevator, and then I get upstairs 7:20. I'm working.
That's true,
And then
yeah.
I get to leave at, like, let's say 1 o'clock for the 1:20 game.
Yep.
Beef rolls into the office at 10. He takes a lunch at 11:30. And then he goes to the game. So I mean, normally, Beef, you are a very hardworking dude. You do a lot of shit. I'm not trying to say that you don't, but tomorrow is a fuck off day for you, man, and you fucking know it.
Some people might say in my job, I'm pretty good about making my hours the way I'd like to make them. But you're sort of right, Treasy. Tomorrow is a work from home day, though. But I got a thing I got to go to in the morning. I have a mass to go to. I got a mass to go to tomorrow morning. So, I can't be too messed up. You're going to church. You got to go to church for a little bit. You can't be, a total pile. But you're kind of right, Trees. You're kind of right about this. So
I like that you're going to mass and you're going to burst into flames as soon as
We
you
are
walk.
going to mass. That'll be interesting tomorrow. We got a quick drink here, guys. Aloha, Mr. Hand, right out of the gates. Drinking a shot from New York.
Oh,
Cheers,
wow.
buddy.
Cheers,
Have fun in
Mr.
New
Hand.
York. Now, I wonder if he's in New York or Nueva York.
Nueva York.
One never knows.
We'll find out when we talk to him. MSS, what are you drinking tonight?
Not a special night tonight. We don't have anything. We're just kind of bullshitting. Wild Turkey 101 is on the menu tonight, and it's the bottle as big as my head. So this is what I'm drinking tonight. As you can see, I have a new background. I did a lot of work today in the basement and was getting rid of a lot of stuff. And so I was like, I wanted to have a nice little setup. I've been wanting I wanted to put my White Sox Twitter window score sign from the 108 window store. You know what I'm saying? Window sign.
It's a good start, Trees.
Big boy did it. Big boy did it.
Treasy, what are you drinking tonight, my friend?
I'm drinking some red wine, man. Got a bottle of red.
Lord.
Oh, that a boy. I like that.
You didn't have them purple teeth.
I got like an important meeting in the morning, so I wanted to make sure that it looks like I was dressed like a Puerto Rican whore last night, and I couldn't get all the purple lipstick off.
Make sure you don't get all
Uncle
the
Philly will make sure to tell you that.
that go around your mouth.
You disgust me.
Don't take the crusties off. Leave those all there.
Yeah, I'm catching some strays in the comments here. SPF says, Beef will make a great state of Illinois employee. Look, I put in my hours, okay? I'm an elder statesman now. I burn the midnight oil when I have to. But you know what I am? I have a work-life balance, baby, and I always have. And I probably should have a higher position, but I don't. I would prefer that. So everyone, we can kiss.
I ain't giving you shit. I ain't the one
I know
giving
you're
you
not.
shit
I know
here.
you're not.
I was kind of explaining how good you are at navigating these types of days, as opposed to me. I do a shitty job of it.
Well, we're just different people. That's all it is.
I think so. Beef, how you doing tonight, though?
I'm good, guys. I wanted to get a little bit into the beef loaf to beefcake situation here. I wanted to go through a couple things because we're just starting this up. We decided absolutely no 108 weight loss this year. The content was just failing on us. It was getting stale. We had to try something different. So
people didn't interact with it, and they didn't give us. It's mostly the fans' fault. To be honest,
that's
the fans' fault.
No, MSS is right. We blame you guys. But now we're going to do something different because maybe you'll be smart enough to get in on this. So what we're going to do this year is I'm just going to work hard to improve myself. It's not even so much a weight loss thing. I don't care about the specific amount of pounds. I'm sure it's going to be more, pounds, but whatever. But I thought it was important I told Mrs. Beef, I'm going to do this in a holistic manner, and I'm going to put a lot out there in these streets, and I'll just take the bullets that I may. So I was thinking today, I was like, I should probably tell the fans how it is originally that I became a big fat ass, because there is really a story to my obeseness, borderline obeseness. I'm sexy but
You're
obese.
Not that fat.
Not that fat. 270. Well, if I get back down to 272 pounds, I'll be not that fat. Everyone saw my weigh-in the other day, 278 pounds. That was not pretty. But the reason why I got fat, back when I graduated college, I was 200 pounds, 6'2", 200 pounds. Nice build. Just a guy who was in good shape. I ran a lot. We were playing basketball a lot back then too. Treasy, we were in a bunch of men's leagues or whatever. And then the scourge of public accounting knocked me on my ass. And 70-hour weeks for 4 months during tax seasons for 5 years in public accounting right out of school added 50 pounds to the beef loaf. And some will say it's the binge drinking. You work till 9 or 10 o'clock, then go out after that, and then you're hungover all the time or whatever. And some of it's that. But most of it is just like,
oh, wow.
Most of it is like, we're ordering in dinner at 9 o'clock when we're going to work till 11. And I'm eating a huge thing from Star Siam of Pad See Ew at like 9 p.m. and just putting that in my belly. It's just like eating all these horrible meals and piling on all this stress. And so I went from a strapping 200 pounds to about 250 pounds by the time I got out of public accounting. So that's the first 5 years of my career. After that, I put on another, let's call it between 5 and 30 pounds, depending on, maybe 40 pounds, depending on the timing or whatever. And I realized some of my leaks. If you guys are okay if I share a couple of my life leaks that I think I got some problems here with. And
sure.
You guys can let me know if you agree with these or not. So number one is more than likely booze. But it's not so much just the booze. It has me eating horribly instead of eating real sensibly, like ordering a couple triple cheeseburgers from McDonald's or $40 worth of Wendy's. It has me ordering like pizzas and fries and eating these leftovers for, days and days and days, and just like being someone that eats garbage all the time. Yeah. Number two is the stressors. And to me, I'm a stress eater. All right, I'm not a stress drinker. A lot of people, they get stress and they drink. That removes the stress from them. Not me. When I'm really stressed out, I do not like to drink. I'm not a big fan of drinking when I'm stressed out. Drinking's for enjoyment for the beef loaf.
Right.
So these are my stressors that I could think of off the top of my head. You guys feel free to add to them. Number one is work. Number two, White Sox. Number three, MSS telling our podcast guests about cucking repeatedly. Number four, Teresa E. Forcing me to take way too much of the leftover Pilot Project Brewing because knows how fat I get when I drink beer. Number five, 108 Morton barking in my ear really fucking loud when I'm laying on the couch and just trying to relax. And the last one, number six, MSS, you're probably right there with me, is life clutter. Any clutter in my life is a stressor, is a blocker. It stresses me out, and then I'm just like, I become lazy and I don't want to go for it. You guys, you got any other ones? Or you guys agree with these ones or what?
I mean, I think you should let the cucking thing go. It's 2 appearances ago from that guy, so just fucking stop. Okay, it was MSS, the most talked about part of that fucking interview.
MSS, can I ask you a question though?
Yeah.
Do you want him to start nitpicking other things you do, or should you just leave it at that?
Should we stick with the cucking?
So has he not done that also? Or
not in this segment. Not in this segment.
I'm not judgmental of others ever.
No. I mean,
I never judge others.
No. I mean, that's just silly to even say that you do that. No, I think you've nailed a lot of it. I would say this though. I don't think the White Sox should be that high up on the list.
They
of
should be
things
higher.
That are stressing you out.
Higher, right?
Why should it be higher?
Well, they provide no enjoyment whatsoever, and they waste a whole bunch of my time. Isn't that a stressor?
Does that equate stress to you? Because like when you're seeing the clutter stuff, right? I can understand that. I get right into. That's why I spent like hours down here.
Because we may not have the same stressors, but I know that's one we do have in common because we've talked about it before.
But like the White Sox team sucking, especially at this point in the year, it's just like whatever. Like I mean, this is kind of expected. Like I knew they were going to win yesterday because I was like, there's no way they're going to win. I'm like, there's just no way they're winning.
You know what I'm realizing, Treasy? MSS is a very bad coach for Beef Loaf to Beefcake because he's saying is none of your stressors are valid. So fuck yourself, and that's what he's kind of saying there.
I didn't say that at all.
You shouldn't be stressing about me saying cuck.
Only 2 of them.
2 of them. 2 of the 7 that you listed.
That's a lot already. That's already
not really.
2 out of 7.
The White Sox can be on that list, but
it's
they shouldn't be that
28%.
high. But you just got to let my shit go. Treasy, am I off on this? I don't think I'm off.
I'm gonna get a drink first here from our friend Missy. She says hiya.
Oh, hiya.
Cheers, Missy.
Thanks, buddy.
I thought the Sox should be very high on this because you spend so much time consumed with it. And he thinks about, like the MSS, this is the difference between me and you and him, right? Like you and I don't think about the minutia of the team as much as Beef does.
No.
Right? Like I mean I do to some extent. Like this morning I was in the shower and I was thinking, what if a couple of our first basemen just died in the off season? Oh. And like how would that help the team? And so I think about it somewhat, but I know Beef is really thinking about it and churning over it a lot. And I think though one you did miss, Beef, is that like the stress of having to wear sleeves most of your life. And so we could see that's causing a thing. And then the stress of you not knowing where your pooter is, because I don't know where you lost that.
How do you lose a pooter?
Well, I bought new ones. That one I did solve. So that's a good point, Treasy. I was able to rectify that one. So.
MSS, I don't know if you agree with me, but as older gentlemen, there's a part of your body that's kind of always constantly at risk when you're sitting. When you're going to sit. And the way that Beef is bouncing around on this ball, his nuts are in danger. You don't even realize
stress me, actually.
You don't realize how, like, when you were telling us, I
subconscious stress.
I sweat during this. It's not because of the ear cans.
It's my ball concern.
Stressed out. You're like, man, like that GIF of that guy where he crosses his legs. He's like, oh, like that guy. That is like circling in the far reaches of your mind.
It's my subconscious. I don't even realize it.
Like if you had a regular desk chair right now, you would be less sweaty. You would be more relaxed.
Ball safety chair is what I use.
Or if you had some kind of harness that kept your balls up higher.
If you weren't pantsless sitting on a latex ball, you probably wouldn't slide.
They hang low enough where I'm not in danger sitting on them. They're way down there, Treasy. Don't worry about it. You're right about the sleeves, though. I do worry about being the sweaty guy. I have concerns about being the sweaty guy. And the thing is, even when I was a thinner man, I was the sweaty guy. I was a guy who would perspire,
You stopped using antiperspirant, though, right?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I listened to your thing.
How long has this been that you've not used it?
I don't know, 4 months maybe?
4 months?
Yeah.
Is it better now? Like, do you sweat less? You're sweating more? Uh-oh.
Yeah, I'm sweating more.
It's very odd because
he's worried about his balls, MSS. It has nothing to do with antiperspirant.
You're worried about your balls?
Well, it's also the summer, MSS. It's also summertime. Like, what the hell?
I mean, you can't stop that. I mean, at least I can. I mean, it's just the way it is.
Okay, Treasy, you were very helpful there. MSS not sympathetic to my plight, so I see where we're working with this thing.
I want to tell you though, you're doing this beef loaf to beefcake thing.
Yeah.
And I thought I need a similar bit to go with this, and I found these pills online today, and I'm gonna go Chirizi E to Chirizi D, and I'm gonna a random set of internet friends on Twitter. I'm just gonna start DMing pictures of my growth over the next few months.
That's awesome.
And they can let me know how I'm doing. Yeah. They'll coach me up. And I feel like I've already picked a couple random celebrities that have their DMs open, like Scott Baio, like he's on the list. John Stamos. We got a good list of guys I really look up to.
I expect you to get extra veiny. That's what I'm hoping for. More vascular down there is what I would appreciate if you could.
Like an Arnold Schwarzenegger bicep right between your legs. It's about the pump.
And that's how we're gonna end it, MSS. Me and you are gonna do that handshake from the Schwarzenegger Weathers.
Yep.
Hopefully you have a darker tan than me. That'll be great.
MSS is the black one.
MSS, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing fine. I don't have anything as in depth as what Loaf described. We had curriculum night for the youngest yesterday. And so I got to fight traffic for a second time driving all the way down to 81st and LaSalle. And that was okay. And the kids were like, oh, this traffic. And I was like, imagine having to do this twice. And then to go into something, and I don't know if you guys, Trees, you probably don't know what curriculum night is.
I don't.
Loaf, you probably, maybe you do, maybe you don't. But it's like a pre-teacher conference thing, like where they get you together and like, this is what we're going to teach your kids this year. And then they're like, and then because, my kid's in a selective enrollment school, they're like, hey, this is how we're going to teach them. And and for me, I'm just like, you know what? You're the professional. Like, I'm going to trust you. I mean, I like that you're telling me these things, but you don't need to get down with and dirty with me and show me this is exactly what we're going to do. So we're sitting in this in the classroom, and the kids are there. We've never been to the oldest one's curriculum night because you can't bring kids. So it's like both of us, of course, want to go, because we want to find out what's happening. Or we can't just put the kids with us. So we were like, all right, we can't go to the oldest one. So we're going to go to the youngest one because you can bring kids. Kids are just running through the halls at school, screaming, which is fine. They're in the classroom. They're going nuts. And the teacher is trying to explain what they're doing. And the whole time I'm watching this and I'm going, okay, I get this. All right, I understand this. And I'm listening and I'm like, okay, I got to remember some of these things so I can tell the wife and all this. But in the back of my mind, and this has been there for years, I'm like, my parents had zero idea what I was doing in school. I would say 95% of the career that I was there. I know everything about my daughter's schooling from pre-K all the way to now. I know way too much. Right? I don't need to know this much information about what she's doing. I need to sit down and help her with homework here and there, but I don't need the learning plan of how all this shit's going to go down. I don't need.
May I?
You may. I have thoughts on this even, but go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just have one quick thought. For MSS, the interest his parents had in his education, it shows. And conversely, the interest he has in his children's education shows very much because they do terrific in school.
Yeah, so
you're seeing the way it works, I think.
So having all the information makes them smart.
It's good. It's helpful.
Well, no, you know what though? Here's what it is. So I don't have kids. I don't teach.
But
I work in an industry where we produce products for people and they need to use them in a proper way. And so I get a lot of stupid fucking questions throughout my life. Not so much now, but
kids.
More when I was really working in tech support. Yeah. And so what you do is you tell people up front, this is exactly how this works. If you do other stuff with this, it's not going to work the way you think it's going to work. And don't be surprised when it doesn't. And that's what they're doing to all the parents. They're going, don't text me 2 months in and say, why is my kid learning this? Why are you teaching it this way? Because I already told you I was going to do that. You had time to object. Shut the fuck up. That is what they're doing.
It doesn't. I mean, yes, kind of, but it's just everything changes on a dime as a teacher goes through the year. I get it. You have to adjust to these kids. They've had these kids for a week. They don't know everything about these stupid kids yet. They need to get to know them and then like, hey, this is what we're going to do. And this is how we're going to push so-and-so. And now we're going to do this. I don't know. It's fine. But like, there's so many fucking.
Treasy wishes he was in that business.
There's so many places. The amount of fleshlight talk that goes on in our podcast.
My sucks, Summer. Why are
crazy?
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
This question, and this relates to the beef loaf to beefcake. Should I be more of a complainer like you? Will this help me lose some weight? I'm a fat ass, but I don't complain very much. But maybe that's a mistake. I'm holding it in. I'm holding it in. Yeah, you think so?
Yeah, you balled it all up.
I'm not a complainer, right? You guys would agree. I don't really complain about much.
Not publicly. You complain about a lot of stuff behind the scenes.
No,
I don't think you're a big complainer.
I'm
not a big complainer, but you do complain. I don't think I'm a big complainer either, but you know, you seem
I think you are. Out of the three of us, you complain the most.
Well, that doesn't really mean that's not much. That's not really good.
Let's get a drink here from our guy Barry. It says, greetings from Boston. I finally did it. I saw the White Sox play in every MLB ballpark, and I wore my 108 gear to most of those ballparks.
Oh, beautiful.
Cheers, Barry. That's awesome.
Cheers, Barry. Congratulations.
Nice job, Barry.
I saw he was at Cheers today. So, Chirizi, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. I you know, all I really had to tell you guys was about my Johnson journey. So, if you want to get to it, you could go ahead and pay some bills. We'll get into the next piece here.
Yeah, hold on a second. We think I would be ready for this.
No, take your time, buddy.
But I'm not.
Right. We got all the time in the world.
Just you do it. Do what you
got
guys
to do tonight. It's
not ready at all.
Show together.
Hey, this is the last time I'm doing this one, so if you're into it, you know, I might want to record it. Back to school to prove the dad that I'm not a fool. That's Billy Madison, and you said you wanted more deals, so we're excited to bring back daily specials Monday through Friday. Our popular Tuesday and Wednesday night specials are staying, featuring a nice discount for a full pound of our original large shrimp or lightly breaded shrimp. New to the lineup is a meatless Monday special, featuring a half order of our new plant-based shocking shrimp. We think our new Thursday special will be a hit, a full order of catfish strips at a discount. And Friday, we want to give some love to our delicious, flaky, made in-house ocean perch. Try them all and let us know what you think. So stop by one of our 4 locations today or visit our website at chicagoshrimp.com to place an order for pickup or delivery. Come see why Lawrence's fish and shrimp have been serving up the seafood you crave since 1950. And we'll announce it here too, okay, on September 14th. That is going to be next Saturday, not this coming Saturday, the Saturday after that, at about 3:15 p.m. The White Sox are going to take on the A's, but you need to come to Lot B. Come see us and the bums for Whiskey at Comiskey, the final Whiskey at Comiskey this year. Our friends at Lawrence's are going to provide the food. The bums are going to provide the whiskey and bourbon. So please come through. 3:15, Sox versus A's. The game doesn't start till like 6 o'clock, so 6:10. So you can come at 3 o'clock, get all nice and toasty, and come right the fuck in. So
Whiskey at the Misky. I can't.
Whiskey at the Misky.
You know what? I was going to bring up a compliment to MSS about his ad reads from Mrs. Beef, but I'm going to hold it until the next one. See if he does that one right. Then I'll throw it in there afterwards. If it works.
Listen, it's one of those nights.
Hey, it happens. It happens. What are you going to do?
It is time for one of my favorite segments. So when we came into the off season this year, and we thought maybe we have good stuff to talk about with the Sox, we were wrong, but we did say let's get some new segments going, and one of the ones I proposed was the stupidest shit we've read on the internet this week or seen. So you know we've done some videos and stuff. So I want to it's read or seen. But Beef, I'm going to start with you. What is one of the stupidest things that you've read or seen on the internet this week?
I mean, this was far and away took the cake. I did not have to look this up because I saw it happening in real time. And I'm just going to pull one of the blogs about it. I'll pull this blog by Big Tennessee at Barstool Sports. Says, the coward who said he'd eat shit if Florida State lost to Boston College has deleted his Twitter account. That Twitter account is at 321Noel. And the tweet read, if Florida State loses to BC this weekend, I will eat dog shit out of a red Solo cup with a spoon and post a video of me doing it. Book it. and absolutely amazing. The guy kind of like was DM'd by some people. He's like, you know what? I got to bow out of Twitter, and has since deleted this account. He put the claim out there and deleted the article. Apologies. The article says, this is crossed out bullshit. Dog shit. You can't go crazy viral saying you're going to eat your dog's turd out of a Solo cup when you're riding high and delete your account when Bill O'Brien's Boston Eagles are running the ball down your throat. Nobody asked you to make this bed, but once you've made it, you better lie in it. Tweeting this before the season would have been one thing, but this guy put that out there after already watching one game of DJU. That's the nickname of the quarterback for the Seminoles. You deserve whatever you have coming to after that. The loss could have given us one of the best pieces of content of the season, but instead, at 3-2-1, Noel decided to tuck tail and run when the going got tough. Sad to see. I guess we'll have to take solace in the fact that the guy will have to watch at least 10 more games of that quarterback playing for FSU to not make a bowl game. This was the wildest thing out there, and when it was going on, as the tweet got out there, everyone and their mama was retweeting this like, oh yeah, let's go. Yes. And as the game went on, Boston College was kicking the shit out of Florida State, and they were like a 16-point underdog or something wild.
They were given 16.5 when it went off. Yeah,
when it went off. Okay, yeah, absolutely insane shit. And it's like, but this is a common refrain on the internet. I remember, I think you guys remember this too. Courtney Finicum claimed she was going to run topless if something happened.
It happened. Got hired as a manager.
Okay, yeah, and then she didn't do it. She backed out of doing it.
Naked, I remember, not topless.
Was it naked? Completely naked? Okay, yeah, she backed out of it. You know, she decided not to do it. I remember Zombie Jackie had something too where she was going to show ass for something, which she lost the bet. She ended up having her husband show ass. That's kind of coverage. I thought that was okay, decent.
She didn't say whose ass.
She didn't say whose, so she kind of got around the loophole there. This guy, though, was going to eat his own dog's shit out of a red Solo cup and film it, and we have been denied that. Just the weirdest and stupidest thing, and the fact that he deleted so fast. Why not stay on the internet and fake that you're going to do this? Why not keep going with the bit to see how crazy it could get?
Why not completely fake it? Why not completely fake it? Like, there are things out there that you can fashion to look like shit. You could take a brownie and roll it. I mean, think about all the things that you've seen Dave Chappelle eat as the crack addict. Like, like there's so much you could have done here. Like, he could have had a little shit looking thing and then bit into it and been like, yeah, it was a Baby Ruth, but you thought I ate shit, you know? Like he could have had a lot of different ways to eat something that looked like shit and get away with it. Either like completely get away with it or explain that it was fake after the fact. But like to just back out on it completely is and like delete your account. That's so dumb. That's so weird. Cowardice.
Jackie Treehorn is correct. Mad Dog lost a bet saying he would quit sports talk, and he doesn't remember what it was. I don't either, but I remember him saying, I will not be back if this happens. And then he was fucking right back on that following fucking Monday. It's weird that people feel the need to like put something out like that and then not like sack up. You know, it's just like, don't do something. And you're saying, why did he delete it himself right away?
Yeah. Before the game was even over, he deleted.
Ask your buddy Slavko. Who said, is this what you guys want? 3 years ago, he said something, and it comes to, you know, like all of a sudden that team wins, and he like it ruined his entire life apparently. So I don't know. It's just, you know, it's weird. Like I think some people can't hack it. Like everyone's like in for the internet and the Twitter when everyone likes you. When they like you, you're like, yes, this is great, man. I don't know why people think this is so hard. But then when you're getting beat the fuck up about whatever dumb opinion you just put out there to everybody, it's probably not the funnest place to be. But so I understand why you delete it, but I also don't understand why you even made that claim. Like if you're not willing to do it, don't fucking say that. Like,
yeah, I mean, we needed to see something like this. We needed him to get his tongue down there and lick the white dog shit. That is the type of thing we needed, right? And this guy, he could have delivered. Imagine he delivers huge like that. He'd be on that. Like, do you think the Haktua girl got big? This shit-eating guy would be enormous. Oh my god, dude. He'd be on USA Today. He'd be on all these things, man. He would take out Roker spot. You know, like he'd be out there, man. He would doing shit, and he gave it all up just because a little. You know what? And Ron Burgundy ate cat poop in the one movie, right? And Anchorman. This is what he could have easily done that, man. A little spoonful might have got him sick, but that's okay. It went over in no time.
It's like things to do in Denver when you're dead. The two guys that served in prison together, and like the one guy hated the other one because he ate shit in prison, and he's like, God, it wasn't even that bad, man.
Oh God, that's so disgusting.
Yeah, Alex Rude brings up, shout out to Stupidest Barbecue for following through on his cross-country bike ride because of TLR. I remember that. And then he also says, we need real ones like Gabe who followed through on punching himself in the balls. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. You put a claim out there, fucking do it if it happens. You know, what's
that's Gabriel. You know, you got to make sure you call him Gabriel. He doesn't like when you call him Gabe anymore.
He's not watching. We're okay.
Yeah, not yet. He'll watch it back and he'll yell at us.
MSS, what do you got?
So, I mean, as you guys know, and we know because we did it just recently here, I sell stuff on eBay, and like I belong to like a bunch of different forums. I've talked about that too, where people talk about their struggles with customers on eBay, where they source items, which is always a topic of, you know, you don't really know if you want to give too many clues and all that stuff, and what sells and what doesn't sell. So you have like people that are on there that like will come in and say, hey, what's your 5 best-selling items? And it's like, oh, thanks, Dick. So now you're going to go and you're going to like take what I do and then just go ahead and do this. And so there's just a lot of different forums. And there's one on Facebook that I'm like a part of. And it's interesting. But what the thing is you realize why most of these people are on eBay running their business and don't have like a brick and mortar store because they're not good at business. Right? That's like the key number one thing. They think they're a business person, but they're not good at business. And I had another one that I was going to go to tonight. It was me. A guy had sent a return request for a shirt that he'd ordered from me. And it was like a like United Auto Workers like polo shirt that you wear at the place. Like some guy could clearly got a job at this company and then quit immediately and just donated his 3 shirts. And I was like, I can make more than, you know, I could sell these for more than $1 a piece. So I will buy all 3 of them. And I put them up, clearly listed XL size in the ad, in the title, XL everywhere. The guy submits a return request and says, I ordered a large, but got an XL. I would like to return this. And I was like, okay, potentially I have a large. I don't think I do. I go and look through everything. Don't have a large. And what this guy is doing is he wants me to pay for the return shipping so he can get his money back. He can return it. And I said to him, I said, hey, listen, you can return this, but you need to pay the return shipping. I didn't make a mistake. You made a mistake. It clearly doesn't fit because you thought you were ordering a large, but it says XL everywhere. He goes, yeah, cool. I'll return it. Just send me a return label. I was like, again, I'm not paying for your mistake. Like, I'm not Amazon. Okay, I'm not going to eat $6 in shipping so you can, because you made a mistake. You pay it back, then I'll give you your money back. That's fine, but I'm not paying to get it back. So anyway, that was what I was going to go with. He ended up not talking to me anymore, so I just fucking canceled the return. So he's stuck with an XL shirt. Win for me.
We'll grow into it.
That's great. So
hopefully he gets stressed out and gets fatter.
Hopefully he'd star Siam at 9 p.m. and gets like a big fat pig like I am.
It was just such a weird fucking thing too. It's like XL everywhere. Fucking XL, dude. Like it's just I get it.
But he ordered a large MSS. So.
Well, yeah, clearly. I don't know how. Because there wasn't sizing. It's just not. That's just not how it works. So anyway, I'm on my eBay group and I see the seller and his name is Ray West. And he says with this comment, he said, I sold a shirt this past Tuesday. After selling it, a buyer messages me, asked me to change the address, that his new one wasn't on file. And this is something that does happen. People will be like, oh my God, my old Hotmail account was to this address. So I had to use this address. So then, or my PayPal account. So I have to use this as we have to ship to. So sometimes people will do that. Now there's a proper way to do it, or there's the way that Ray did it. And he says, I've done this before, so I don't think anything of it. I changed the address and shipped the shirt. I didn't think of, or I sent him a picture of the address being changed. I woke up this morning and on my phone, it said I had a new message from a username I'd never seen. I opened it and said, were you able to ship? So half asleep, I took the screenshot of the tracking and sent it. The only problem is the person I received the message from, their message, they just didn't show up. Instead, it was the original person who asked me to change their address. It was a person that just out randomly comes through and says, please change this address. As you can see, I responded to the bullet with the below screenshot, which I'll show you. I wouldn't even have known to message them without them messaging me first. And so he's like, I'm sorry if this is confusing, which it very much is. Did I make a mistake and ship to the wrong buyer? Does the buyer have multiple accounts? One thing for sure, The username that purchased the shirt is not the same username that messaged me after it's sold, asking me to change the address. So, okay. So this is, for those who are at home and that are trying to keep up with this, this is the guy. his name is Ray. He sends a message to the person that bought this shirt from him. Michael Jordan shirt, $165 shirt he sold. He says, "Hey, did you purchase this Jordan shirt? I have a message from another account saying for me to change that address."
Oh my God.
I did and sent it. I'm really confused. So
he is really confused.
Yeah,
that's the most accurate part of this
problem solved right there.
This is something that is just this beyond me, and I'm like, wait a second. The guy sends a message to you from somebody sends you a message from another account. So a guy sees that this guy just sold a shirt. Another guy goes, "Oh shit, I'm just gonna go send him a message." And
Cardi says, "Please change the address and send a large this time."
He goes and he says, "Hey, could you change the address? That's not my shirt." He doesn't have the same username. He's not mailing from the account. And the guy goes, "Sure, I'll do that right for you. No problem." This is why if you run a brick and mortar business, you have no fear of eBay sellers taking over anything. Okay. If you can get a business license and actually have a shop, these are the people you're competing with. This guy sold $160 shirt, and some guy just messaged him and says, "Fucking just send it to me. This is my new address."
Was his MSS, was his picture up on his profile so that the scammer could see what he looked like? Because I think he looks vulnerable to being taken advantage of.
No, it's not. But I was reading it and I was like, this is by far, in a way, the stupidest thing that I read on the internet this week. It's like, yeah, some random account just messaged me. Do you think it's because of this? Do you think it's because of no? This guy is scamming you, and he just got a free shirt from it, and you were dumb enough to fall for it, and it wasn't even that good of a scam. It was not even. I mean, you wouldn't fall for that, Chirizi, would you?
No.
No. Right.
That's an insane thing to fall for.
Oh, does that happen?
I mean, I would love to know if the username was super close. One
letter off. Yeah,
right?
Exactly, right?
Or change an L to a 1 or something.
So there are screenshots. I did not put them in because I was like, you can't read it anyway. But it was like one began with an H, one began with a D. I mean, they weren't even. It's not even close. And eBay has these things now where like they just make a little. If you don't have a profile picture, they use the first letter of your name, and there's different colors. So even the circles of the colors of the people's names are not the same. So like, there's a lot of things there, and it's a very weird situation. But yeah, this guy, I just totally got fucking conned, and it was like the guy that conned him has got to be in the back, just being like, I am fucking shocked that this worked. Like how I don't know how you even think of this plan, and then go, oh, this just fucking worked. I don't know. It's goofy.
I wonder how often it works.
I bet it works more often than you think.
Let's start trying.
God bless. I wonder what that guy's seller name is. I can't wait till this product's back out there in like 3 months. He refences the thing. Yeah, the one that got shipped to the fake guy. Yeah, he's going to resell it in like 3 months. You'll see it back out there in the marketplace.
What's funny is the dude probably got a refund because he sent it to the wrong fucking address, right? So he gets the refund, and then he buys it from the other guy for less.
And he's going to be the guy that then complains about the eBay. Like, eBay didn't side with me. They always side with the buyer. I had to refund the guy's money. It was an honest mistake. It's like, no, it wasn't, dummy. Like you didn't do what you're supposed to do.
Uncle on text says it had to have worked before. Oh yeah, I'm sure it did.
I'm sure
maybe it worked on this guy.
Maybe
I just didn't even notice.
Yeah,
first one he caught.
This might be the 5th time he's very confused.
I sent it to him. I don't know. It's goofy. Chorizo. What's the stupidest shit you read?
So it's something I saw. So our friend Missy did a quote tweet of this other tweet. And this is some political stuff, but I guarantee you I'm not talking about the politics of this. So this is the video underneath it, and there's one part of it that I was just a little bit taken aback by. and I'll let you guys watch it.
Women do not love Tim Walz, so that should just tell you about how masculine Tim Walz is. The other day, you saw him with a vanilla ice cream shake. Had a straw in it. Oh. Again, that tells you everything.
Who's out here drinking shakes without a straw? And also, who's calling it an ice cream shake? I've never heard that.
I think guys that go like this when they're talking.
It's a milkshake. Yeah,
Milkshake. But the straw. Where did the straw thing come from? I totally. I can't. It's. And he's talking about like masculinity. Like I mean, like fucking Mr. Blonde's drinking fucking milkshake out of a straw. What the fuck? But I was trying to think, how else are you drinking this fucking thing?
Yeah.
Are you just chugging a milkshake? That seems
Slurping
it seems like a wild way to drink a milkshake. I don't know. I don't drink many milkshakes because my body can just not handle them anymore. So
your hands are afraid of heat and cold. Like it has to be a nice temperature.
The insides of my body. Not the outside of my body.
You could have made a lot for 3, 2, 1 old eat. That's all I'm saying. You got a milkshake.
That would have been great. That would have been great.
44 said Treasy just outed himself as a straw using cuck. Yep, he sure did. You know,
basically, I didn't know that was.
I'm trying to think. Like there are probably situations in which you ingest. You can ingest like a Frosty or whatever with a spoon.
Yeah,
but still, you're using that
a milkshake.
It's not a milkshake, though. You know, it's
Frosty ain't a milkshake, and nothing is an ice cream shake. But
yeah, that was. Well, I don't very much relate to TV show people very much. I don't know. They're in a different world. I have no idea what
news pundits. I don't think live on the same planet as us. But like at the end of the day, I'm just kind of like I saw it and I was like, because like the whole idea of the video is totally something else, and people are arguing about it, and I'm just sitting there going like, this motherfucker drinks milkshake without a straw. This is the most confounding part of this, other than calling it an ice cream shake.
Did people call him out on it or no?
I can't be the first MSS. There's just no way.
Like nobody on the show even said, "Well, how do you drink?"
Well, I didn't watch the rest of the show, but like you heard,
saw that.
Hold on, yeah. I'm gonna let you listen because you can hear whoever's the co-host when he says it.
Women do not love Tim Walz, so that should just tell you about how masculine Tim Walz is. The other day, you saw him with a vanilla ice cream shake. Had a straw in it. Oh. Again, that tells you everything.
Oh. What?
Wait a minute. God
so
damn
like multiple people on this show are like, yeah, you just fucking pour that thing down your throat. There's no time. There's no time, anyone.
Like the guy that's wearing makeup and has his hair perfectly coiffed and then is using hand motions and saying how unmasculine this person is. I mean, it all adds up, to be honest. I mean, these things are totally normal, totally masculine. I mean, we all put makeup on before we do this show.
I got it on right now.
I mean,
so I keep my nose from being too greasy.
Foundation and everything all over the place.
When I drink my milkshake, Treasy, with no straw, this is how it goes. That's
oh, God. Why you do that?
I just, like... I feel like if I drank a vanilla ice cream shake, with no straw, I'd end up looking like the end of one of those videos that MSS watches all the time.
Well, at least the interlude, you know. Never know how much further it'll go.
No free ads or nothing. But like I ate some vegan ice cream in the neighborhood last night, and I wonder how masculine that is. That doesn't seem very masculine at all. It needs to come from a stressed out.
MSS, if they want to sponsor the show, then you can as many ads as you'd like.
MSS, did you lick it or did you bite into it like a savage, like a real man? You ate it from the bottom.
I was chewing mostly. Yeah, I was definitely chewing, not filleting it. No, I was just I definitely was like licking. Yeah, fuck yeah, all into that shit. That was good, really good. To be honest. Love it. It's really good. And your ice cream cone days right now are kind of like like numbered. Like you need to get those in before the end of the season. So
I mean, my ice cream days have been numbered for a long time.
I feel like we need to try this experiment on MSS because he's been talking about it so much. We got to get somewhere and have him eat some ice cream and then just see what happens. See how long the gestation period is before he's got to make boom boom.
I saw.
We'll go to your house.
I saw LA Beast. LA Beast had a 6-pound ice cream cone from Dairy Queen. Maybe we start with that.
You're not
Maybe we start with that. See how far I get into that.
He can MSS. Yeah, we do it at my house. He can shit in the backyard next to Morty. Then they can both scoot on the ground if they got a little extra left over.
We'll call Mailman Jack too.
No.
MSS. Too many bees back there, man. I can't. I can't risk it. I can't risk it.
There are a lot of bees. You don't want to be in your butthole. Mm-mm.
Oh, no, you don't.
Mrs. Beef says, "Not
Too
my
many
house."
bees.
So me and Mailman Jack got the band. We both got banned.
I'll set up a bucket in the garage.
Oh, not in the garage. No, that's where my cars are. Get out of here.
Gordo says, "MSS stole my idea." What? So sending extra large shirts to people who wear large. Cheers, Gordo.
Ooh, that tequila's going down nice, boys.
And our guy CJ says, "Sneaking in from work. What have I missed?" Cheers. A lot, CJ.
Not much.
A lot to unpack. A lot to unpack in this episode. We're not talking baseball.
Baseball wise,
CJ, thank you.
absolutely not. Cheers.
Hang on, I got a little baseball later.
You got a little baseball
a
coming?
little bit. And next,
Got a little bit baseball. All right.
Yeah,
Well, then,
that's nice.
MSS, why don't you pay some bills? We'll get into the next stuff.
Let's do this. With the back to school season upon us, it's important to ensure your vehicle is ready to handle the increased demands of daily commuting to and from school. That's why our service team at Orland Park Mazda is here to help. Here are crucial services your car needs to be prepared for the back to school season. Start the school year right by getting your tires rotated. Properly rotated tires provide enhanced safety and performance for the daily commutes to school. Regular oil changes not only promote engine life, but also contribute to enhanced fuel efficiency. Regular inspection and maintenance of belts and hoses can prevent potential failures that might leave you stranded and disrupt your busy schedule. Mazda of Orland Park, home of the Zoom Nation. 8910 West 159th Street, Orland Park. 708-444-3200. Zoom.
All right, fellas.
Yeah.
We're not going to do White Sox talk. We'll maybe touch on some White Sox stuff. But we're not going to do any tonight. But I do have a sports-related question for you guys. So I'm going to get into sports in the back half. And my two questions on this, and I'll show you a quick video, are what is this sport and when are we doing a playback for it?
Let's go. Yeah.
There we go.
Oh my God. What the bleepity bleep. Yeah. John, man, I knew John. I love John can always find, he's always.
So, fuck is this? If you were listening and not watching, what you just missed was two fully armored, like medieval knights, with some kind of combination of football gear, it appeared, swinging gigantic long axes at each other and connecting.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then like the guy we see at the end, the guy's bleeding and shit. So like, I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is either.
Well, I mean, you say long axes, so people who are listening on the podcast feed, as long as your body, not like, you're thinking, it's a little, these are super long goddamn axes. Tracy, I don't know what that is, but it's got to be some sort of offshoot of the like the MMA type stuff, because
It's
it was
like MMA and Ren Fair.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's like in the same type of ring right there. I would love to do a playback of that, even if we don't really know the rules. There's a lot of, and like when they in between rounds, I assume, I don't think it was over, that when they smash cut there, the guy's face was bloody as fuck. Like, it was bloody, and I couldn't even see him get in the face. Well,
I mean, there was a lot more. That was like a 17-minute video that I cut down because it's like this. Why is this going on so long? This is like the MMA fights are short as fuck. So yeah, it is. I saw it. I was like, I don't know what this is. But why the fuck is it not in the Olympics? And why are we not doing playback?
Well, in LA. It'll be in LA, just like when baseball comes back. Baloney says Medieval Times has evolved. Yeah, I was thinking about it. A little bit looks like Medieval Times, but I remember when we would go to Medieval Times high school field trip, we would just go over by the horses before they went out there and see which ones had the biggest cocks. And that was the most exciting thing. You didn't get a guy bashed in the face like this, who's bleeding out like a motherfucker.
Sometimes the horses would shit, too. So, I mean, like, God bless. You were there for a special occasion.
Yeah,
I'm looking Knowles, I got to find out what the fuck this is. I don't even know. Like, night fights? I mean, I don't
the name
even
of
know.
it was Armored Mixed Martial Arts.
I was right. Okay, it is mixed martial arts. Yes.
So, like, I don't know why it was invented, but I'm intrigued.
Yes.
Hang on. What were the specific martial arts they were doing right there? Because to me, it's just like a big axe that you were hacking someone in the head with. Is that an art? I don't know.
No,
if
Beef.
that's an art.
So I got to tell you, I didn't watch just that. So I saw one where like there was a little bit more martial arts going on. So like the person like hooked them with the axe like around their back, pulled them towards them and kicked them. I don't know if that's martial arts, but I loved it.
You know where this is at, right?
It's got to be Russia.
It's based out of fucking Nashville.
Oh shit! Okay.
Oh man,
right. We're going.
We got Fact Machine Jim Margulis over there curling, and this is happening. Like now, if
he might be doing that too.
If Jim got us into something like this and was like, "Hey guys, I need you to come down here and take a course, and we'll do this," I'd be like, "Fuck yes, let's try this." I might not.
Whoa! I don't want to try that. I would watch someone do that. I'm not want to try that with the big axe and all that. Yeah, no, I'm good.
I mean,
throwing a little stone on ice is friendly enough. I don't want to get hit with the axe. You know, I'm sorry.
Okay,
this sport survives for a little bit on internet fury, and then someone dies and it's over. So, like, I don't know if I'm up for it.
November 16th, Nashville Municipal Auditorium, Medieval Cage Fighting. It's their last fight of 2024. Might have to be a 108 road trip. We might have to go down there and watch some knights get down and dirty.
I'm in.
Nashville's a fun place to party too. We might meet the Haktula girl. So
I've never been in Nashville.
You've never? No, you should.
No,
you should go.
I should interject just for a second here. I was going to do it right after the ad read, which MSS did kind of screw up too, but it was better than the first ad read. So,
how did I screw that up too? What?
You mispronounced the very first word.
Bask to school.
Yeah. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Mrs. Beef gave MSS a great compliment last night. So after the White Sox victory, I flipped on our buddies at CHGO, Sean and Herbie and Vinny, and we watched probably a half hour of it, and they did some ad reads, and Mrs. Beef said every single one of these guys reads ads worse than MSS, and it's their fucking job. She goes, maybe I shouldn't be so hard on MSS ad reads. And I said, well, yeah, he does do a better job than them. So I couldn't disagree. And having watched a lot of shows, they screw up a lot of ad reads. It's pretty impressive. So good show though. They had good content. The ad reads were in trouble. They were in peril. I must say.
And as I told you today, Herb, like one time, Sean was gone, was doing something else, and Herb had to do all of the ad reads. Yeah. And he's like, I feel like MSS up here reading these ads. And I was like, you motherfucker, I'm catching shade.
Shots fired at you.
Because you don't know how to fucking read. Like, I didn't go to broadcasting school, despite what most people think. Okay, so like, just take it easy.
Most people think that.
MSS, if I outlive you, in your eulogy, I will say we shouldn't have been so hard on MSS. I think I'll quote Mrs. Beef. Exactly. I think it's a sweet sentiment, but I'm not going to stop.
We shouldn't have been so hard.
Now, if you guys don't mind, I have. Oh, go ahead.
Go for it.
Yeah, he's going to get in trouble. He keeps that up. I have a question for Treasy. So, some news came across. Very recently, Marco Patti fired from. Oh, wait a minute, that's not Marco Patti. All right, never mind. Marco Patti.
It might be.
Is that Marco Patti?
I can't tell.
Anyway, it looked like him. I thought it was him, so I figured I'll clip this and see what it looks like.
The goal makes sense. That's how you get the recruit.
Well, I figure he's driving around. He's looking for prospects. I don't know. But anyway, Marco Patti. It's tough to tell. To tell what's going on. Anyway,
does not look like fresh talent, though.
That was maybe the last recruiting trip. I have no idea. So, Tracy, they finally fired Marco Patti. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this because you've been thirsting for a Marco Patti to get fired for a while.
Yes, there's been so many problems here. Like, so one is like, I think a lot of people like were talking about how great Marco Patti was just a couple of years ago. And it was like, well, they've got Oscar Colas and they've got Yelke Cespedes. And like everybody says that those are sort of great recruit. No, they all sucked. Like, because if you look backwards, anyone that he didn't pay like $50 million for or wasn't named Tatis, he whiffed on. Then after he got the good Tatis and they got traded away, he went and got the bad Tatis. So like, he's like, and for years, he's just been in this like kind of like get the older Cubans. And the problem with that is like, you only get like one person because you overpay for that because they're close to the majors. You pay for this one person and then all your risk lives in that one person. Like you're not spreading it out over a bunch of people.
Right.
Similarly, when they got put in a penalty box, San Diego went out and spent a bunch of money, used all their money up, and said, we're just getting all the max value that we could get, like which was $300,000, I think was the bonus they could give.
Yeah, that's right.
They got all those players. You saw a bunch of those players get traded over the past couple of years for real major league players, even if none of them hit. The Sox didn't do anything. They barely got anyone. They traded away some of that cap money.
Yeah, Brian Ramos is the only guy from the penalty box era that's even still around, I believe.
Yeah, and I hope he's great. But like he hasn't been yet. Right? Like so like we're still in this situation where like he hasn't produced anything except what was probably a Kenny Williams thing from what everybody says, which is Jose Abreu.
Yeah. Yeah, the rumor has it he had some relationships help them get kind of close to the front of the line and kind of make it happen.
And Luis Robert, which was you paid the most out of anybody. Like you paid, you went into the penalty, you paid tons and tons of money.
Yeah. So I won the auction.
That's it. That's it. And he's been here, what, 13 years? I think it is.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, it's definitely over 10.
So to have like almost nothing come from what you've been recruiting, where everybody else has a shitload of guys, right? And you've traded for guys from the international class. Like this is just overall disappointing. And like they have no facilities anywhere. They don't even try in half the places. They just focus on Cuba. Like he's been doing a terrible job for a long time.
Yeah.
And like so it's refreshing to see him get fired. But here's the other side of this beef. There's a bunch of people in the org who are probably totally ready to get fired, right? And it seems like they're cleaning a little bit of house now.
Yeah, they fired some pro scouting side guys too.
Got rid of
Why didn't they go last year? Why didn't they go out with the rest of last year? And then the other thing is like, is this just to say, hey, it's not me, it's these guys. Let's push the blame off on them. Give me some more time.
Oh, the gut stuff. I mean, like, So I think some of it, Treasy. Just my personal opinion is, when you have an old stodgy owner, it's tough to get them to do all new stuff right away. You got to fucking ease in little by little while you can. And so that's why he got the new front office hires last year kind of right away. Then he backed off a little bit. Yep. Fire Pedro, then you backed off a little bit.
Yep.
Fire Marco Patti, now he'll back off. And now he'll probably do something, in a couple months. I think it's because like dealing with older leadership, sometimes you got to kind of take your time to get them to line up with that. I think that's kind of the approach there. But he could it could be a cut. I'm sorry, MSS. It could be a cut everybody out of here. Not my fault. Everyone else fucked up deal too. I don't know.
Could be, but also I think you're 100% right. Like when you're dealing, you ever seen the movie or the show Hoarders? Like they don't go right in and just start ripping stuff out and throwing it away.
Great
They're
call.
like, no, listen, I know this is really important to you. This is why you have 77 butter dishes, but let's get rid of. Why don't you keep your favorite 20? And then we'll get rid of the other ones. And they're like, you know what? That's a good idea because then I'm going to do something, but I still get to keep it. So he's like, hey, listen, we have all these shitty people at their jobs. We can't get rid of all 77 people at once because we got to fucking run. So we're just going to we'll get rid of people at a time. I think you're 100% right. You fucking probably manifested that one too, Loaf. So good job.
All I'm saying, MSS, all I'm saying is that he's saying, yeah, we've got all these shitty people, which he's one of, but
He's in
They're all
charge.
shitty. They're all
When you're in charge,
shitty, not
Treasy, when you're in charge, the other shitty people are the ones who get to go. Couple comments out there. Senor Sucks says, that's an odd way to sit in a moving vehicle. I guess that kind of is. I don't know. I just sometimes you relax, you recline or whatever. Marco doesn't seem too upset on it. He seems fine with that. And then, sorry about that.
Maybe that's the proper way to drink an ice cream shake.
And then the other comment is from Al Crude. He says, surprising what happens when you ignore the Dominican like Patty did. Yeah, that was the point I was going to bring up, Tracy. The Major Leagues is 30% Dominicans, basically, and the White Sox always have, like, none. So that's bad. That's a bad sign.
This is the thing, though. Like, if the Sox, like, fire Patty and then hire someone else and don't invest there and open a facility or do anything, what the fuck changed? Like, you're just putting the new person in a position to fail because they have no ins on any of this shit.
Yeah, the infrastructure is still not what you need it to be.
Even
if you got someone with fresh ideas, even if you have someone who's a little more connected, you know what I'm saying? That always looked like it too, like what Alex mentioned. It always felt like he wasn't connected enough in the Dominican. We always would bring this up, Treasy. We're like, the guy doesn't spend all the money because he's not connected enough in these spots. Forget these guys. This is what my thought always was on it. Like, yeah, and they're like, oh, well, it's Jerry's against that or whatever. I'm thinking, I don't know about that, but it seems to me he got no connections here.
I never believed the Jerry is against it theory because it is not difficult to explain to Jerry that this is the cheapest way to acquire talent.
Right, exactly. Look what everyone else is doing.
I'm guessing that's like, because Getz has been in his ear about a lot of things, right? A lot of things like, hey, we can build a pitching staff from within. It'll be totally cheap. Literally totally cheap. We'll get young guys. We'll have Bannister pick out guys who are live arms, but like maybe fly under the radar. Like he has to be going like, you know where else we could get a lot of cheap players? From the Dominican. But Marco Petty doesn't even know where that is. So we got to fire.
He's got to go.
Maybe the guy in that picture fucking knows where to go. This is not Marco.
I don't know if that's the Dominican Republic, but yeah.
Looks like he can find talent.
He knows where he's going. He found some talent there. That's for sure.
MSS, what do you got going, man?
You know, so Loaf, you brought it up quickly, the redonating or like getting rid of stuff and like rehousing stuff and whatever. And I do that because I haven't made all the best decisions when buying stuff when I'm out at a thrift store and I'm like, you know what, this will probably sell at some point. But you know, after a certain point, you're just like, I don't even want to fuck with this. Like right now, like I donated today, I put in the donation box like a pair of rollerblades that I looked up before I put it in, and they sell from anywhere between like $30 all the way up to like $85 or something, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, somebody gave them to me, and I'm like, you know what? I just don't even want to fucking deal with this. I don't want to put them up. I want to try to figure out what it is. So I'm just going to rehome that. But what happens here is that as soon as I start doing a lot of this stuff and start pulling stuff down and throwing it in the donate bin, you know, I'm like, no one's going to buy this. No one's going to buy this. Something ridiculously stupid sells. And I'm like, see, this is why you can't fucking do this. So today, a fucking mosquito repellent trucker hat from like the 80s sold. Like just randomly. It's been up for 2 years. It sells today. Just last week, the car cassette conversion kit, you know, where you put the tape thing in your tape deck and then like the cigarette lighter thing that run the fucking Discman sold for like $30. You know, and I'm just like,
who is using it?
I don't know.
Who has a car that would use that?
So you gotta restore old cars, I guess.
No, but some people are buying these things. And so it gets me really like, oh, you shouldn't do that. Like, don't do that. That's money. You're just giving it away. And like, you know, because you just, you know, sometimes it's a lot of work to like, especially you don't want to wait for.
Bruhan Luke says off is a band, not a mosquito repellent trucker hat.
No, it's a must.
Go ahead. I'm with you, MSS. I'm with you on this.
It's a must. It's like Muscle or something is the name of the repellent. You dumb motherfucker. You know what? You work on getting me good bets, okay? Don't give me a 17 parlay.
He ain't got no good.
Well, these are great. Don't do that shit. He gave me 2 good ones
Look,
and then like 3 bad.
Sammy P's got you on the path to be a real degenerate gambler.
Yeah.
Just stick with that. Stick with
that. So we'll go down that path too. So today, or not today, but yesterday or the day before, we had said this, and I said it when Sammy P was on last week, and you can watch that show back again. But we got some money from the 108, and I was like, I'm going to invest this, and I was going to do it when I was going to be in fucking.
Maloney says, I'm going to message MSS to change the address on that off.
Not off. But anyway, so I was like, I'm going to invest some of this money into gambling and just throw it out there. So I do this, and I fucking I open up BetMGM because I'm like, well, these guys are, this is Sammy's thing. Let's get this in here. So I start putting my bets in. And then I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to double down on this. And I was only doing like $5 bets, and I'm doing a lot of futures. And I'm like, I'm going to get DraftKings. So I get DraftKings too. Well, if you deposit so much money at DraftKings, they just give you a bunch of money in bets that you can just make, which I'm assuming, even if I win that bet, that money doesn't just come right out. Like I have to re-gamble that money into their system. Probably.
Generally, there's some rollover. So yeah, you won't be able to
one-time roll.
Yeah, but it's not that bad.
Okay. So the onshore books are much better about that.
So I had like 10 $25 bets, free $25 bets, which I was like, this is fun, cool. And I could have sacked them on certain things or what. I'm taking the approach. I'm just spreading it all out, right? Just put it everywhere and put it on different things.
Sowing your royal oats. I like
sowing my legal gambling royal oats. And I was like, it harkened back to the days when weed became legal. And I'm like, yes, this is fun, And then I'm sitting here on the phone, and I'm like, I'm just betting, fake money right now. After I got through my first I think I put $60 on some DraftKings stuff. But I reached out to people that I know that gamble a lot. And I said, hey, send me your picks, send me what you're looking at. Like, cause I'd gone through all Sammy P stuff and kind of put them in both different places and whatnot. And, people sent me some of the worst fucking things. And I'm like, I must be a little bit more advanced because I've been with you guys for as long as I have. I'm like, why are you trying to build a 7-leg parlay, on futures? Like, this seems silly. Like, maybe let's get an obtainable bet. And then I'm in my head going, this is the same as what everything. Like, people are not the people that we know, but not the people that I asked, but like there's people that are just dumb because DraftKings puts up all these little bets like that you can just click right on and you're like, hey, this is what a lot of people are doing. Maybe you should do this. And it's like,
jump in. You don't want to miss out.
And I go and look at it, and I'm like, this doesn't seem like a very smart way to like just waste my money. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to have a little bit of research or listen to somebody that does do that research, and I'm going to put that stuff in there. So yeah, I'm excited, guys. I'm out there, and the fun thing about this, I think right now, is that there's so much money on futures that will not come until like February.
Yeah,
it's just like I'm like, oh, whoa.
I'm gonna give you a tip here. Some of that's never gonna come. So
never happen. No, I know.
Money's
the end won't come. The end won't come till February. So you got this whole year to go. Well, I really hope that guy from the Buffalo Bills fucking gets his shit together and wins that Rookie of the Year because I put a $25 free bet on him. So I better get that money back.
So, Beef, speaking of betting, our guy Sammy P was on last week, and he's doing the show with Joe Ostrowski, and Joe O has a survivor pool, and we both got in it. We did. You can only get one each, so we're just combining, and we're going to do
we got two entries that we're kind of sharing.
Two picks a week until we're out, which we'll see how quickly we're out. We might only last this week, so we'll see. Yeah.
So the way Survivor works, for people who don't know, is you just have to pick a winner each week, but you can't pick the same team. So once you use that team,
winner. No spread.
No spread, no nothing, just straight up winner. But once you use that team's out. You can't use them anymore. And to get all the way to the end, you have to get through a lot of teams, right? So you got to kind of pick your spots on who to use for what. And there's a lot of strategy to it, basically. But.
Yeah, so we're picking our week one teams. So, Beef, who are you taking with the week one pick?
I already submitted my pick. And every person who's sharp will tell you this. You do not want to pick the biggest favorite of the week because what you want to do is be off of them because most people want to be on the biggest favorite. And if they lose, a big chunk of the pool will be out of the tournament. And so what did I do the first week? I picked the biggest goddamn favorite, the one that Sammy and Joe both said they will not be on. I have the Bengals the first week. Because let me tell you something, Treasy. First week of NFL is fucking dangerous. It always is. You don't really know what the teams are. And so weird shit happens. So I was like, fuck it. I understand the wisdom in their advice. I'll start heeding that a week 2. I want to try to get through week 1 with the strongest team, in my opinion.
Well, Beef, I actually like this strategy here because unlike if we were playing the Circus Survivor, where there's, 10,000 people in it or whatever there is, we're doing a more localized group of people
version,
and it's on Joe O's thing, right? Like, so these are probably all listeners.
Yeah.
So where you would see a 60% handle for like the Bengals here, you won't see it in this one.
That's what I'm hoping.
So
it'll be 35%, 40% or something like that.
Yeah, so I think you might get away with it in this one. So I mean, like, I know Jamar Chase probably ain't gonna play, but like, they should still beat the shit out of New England. Like, New England just looks. Beef. When Sammy was like, you should do Panthers this year. Yeah, I almost wanted you to do Patriots. Like, just because, like,
they look like they'll be like, he gave me the team that will have a chance to win more often from those spots,
right?
But the Patriots look like such a sad sack of shit, and they're so hateable. Like, I haven't decided, Trees. I'll bet someone by Sunday as the new Jets, because even though the Jets are underdog in week 1, and I'm so tempted, maybe I will still bet them on Monday night just for fun. But they're not the team this year because they're going to be too good. A lot of people are projecting them to win the division. They're being projected to win the division, MSS. So the theory, like if Aaron Rodgers got hurt again, we could be back on Jets. Right. But until then, the illusion's gone. You can't really use it. So.
Yeah. I mean, if he lifts too many weights, he'll probably pull a hammy, and then he can't be out there anyway. So no big deal.
You want in the dark retreat, he's gonna be fine.
The Patriots are so hateable, though. Like, just because of the years of success, right?
All the
I think people love to see them down.
Yeah.
Right. Like, so I think that if we're going strictly bit, I think Patriots might be a better one.
Yeah.
If you're going for like actually interesting and like this could turn out crazy, the Panthers might be the better, because the Panthers are going to have a lot of games where they're dogs, but not incredible dogs, because the NFC South is just
it's not that
a trash bin.
Yeah.
So like, them shoving it up Baker Mayfield's ass would be hilarious. This year,
be pleasant. So who are you going for in week 1 in the Survivor, Treasy?
So like, there was a couple teams that I was looking at. So Buffalo is the first one that I was looking at, and like, it just seemed like that game kind of like worries me, because I saw too many Josh Allen, like, what the fuck is this guy doing games last year.
Right.
And like, it's just like, are we gonna see some ridiculous Kyler Murray shit? Like, he runs a 40-yard touchdown to kill my dreams at the end. Like, I worried about that a little bit too much, to the point where I was like, I gotta look at some other teams and just see what's here. And the one that like stuck out to me, so I think they're like 5.5 or 6 point favorite right now, but the Seahawks are playing the Broncos.
Yeah.
And so we all know, like, I mean, we're sweating it this weekend for our own rookie quarterback. But like, rookie quarterbacks going in game 1, this is the toughest game of their entire career. This is a lot to put on somebody, and to have to go into Seattle and do that
12th man, baby, let's go.
Where it's just loud as fuck, and you haven't worked with these guys that long. You don't have the rapport with the center, and like you're going against. It's not the same old Seattle's Seahawks defense, but the cornerbacks are really good. So like, it just feels like this is a game that Seattle should win. And also, because of where Seattle kind of ranks for me in the league, they're kind of in like the 15 to 20 team range there.
It's great to use them.
I'm never going to use them again. Like, I'm never going to have an opportunity to use them again. So like,
but
I
don't
could
you feel like
Buffalo.
Any concern with the fact that Bo Nix is as old as Joe Louis when he fought Rocky Marciano? So he's not really like a real rookie. He's like an old man out there. So a little advantage back. Now he's not going to be as nervous because he's already past retirement age.
I don't
Not
think
as old
there's
as
an-
Rocky Lombardi, but
Not
still
so
pretty
Rocky
old.
Lombardi,
I think
but close. He's up there. He's
There's an
close there.
age factor, but I don't think there's an experience factor of doing this. So like,
You can be older and crap your pants, is what you're saying. That's
Yeah,
very
hey,
much okay. I
maybe
agree
have
with
an
that.
ice cream shake
That's
before
happened,
the
right?
game.
You know,
Ice cream shake
That's-
before a vanilla one.
that's why
Ice cream.
Bertoletti and I have to put together the 108. The shit your pants pack.
We're making that.
We should make that 100%. Even if we
making
only make like 5 of them, we just sell them off as a gimmick. That'd be great.
Yeah. I'm gonna let you keep that one at your house.
I think that the Seahawks are just to me, it feels like with all the factors of a survivor pool, I felt most comfortable there. And boy, am I going to be shitting my pants if like there's a whole bunch of upsets in the first set of games, and then we're going to the 3 o'clock, and I'm just like, oh fuck, am I gonna share the same fate? Or if like Sunday morning I hear, oh Geno Smith shit his pants, he's not playing today. Like,
Too much doo-doo. He's
Get an ice cream shake and he can't come out of the fucking thing.
But yeah, that's the other thing, Beef. If Geno Smith gets sick or something, I probably won't hear about it until it's past the time that I can change the team out. So I'm in at the Seahawks. I'm fucked.
I wish both of us luck. We'll see. I like picking the prohibitive favorite so that I either look really smart because all the smart people are like, no, you can't pick them, or I'm the biggest dumbass possible. I picked the squarest, stupidest thing to pick, and I'm out because I did the dumbest thing right away, and I lose the first week. I'm a winner no matter what, and those outcomes right there. That's perfect for me.
I do got a question for you, another football related question for you guys. So I was thinking about this on my drive home today. I was listening to the new show that the Barstool guys are doing, which is unnamed right now, but it's mainly going to be Chicago sports. It's similar to Redline Radio, but it seems very Bears focused. I think a lot of people are going all in on the Bears in terms of podcasting, and I was thinking like, we saw what a terrible White Sox team, how many podcasts it could murder.
Oh yeah.
But if this Bears
God.
team, let's say this Bears team is not even bad. Let's just say
like 7
they're
10.
mediocre. They're 8-9. Right? And they only improved one game over last year. They finished 8-9. It's gonna be like the fucking Jonestown Massacre. Like it's like there's gonna be just Kool-Aid cups laying around and dead podcasts.
Crazy.
Fucking as far
The
as I can see.
The Bears 8-9, but Tyson Bagent is 3-1 as a starter, and amongst that 8-9, just to stir the pot even harder, it'll be absolute chaos.
And
Everyone will be ready to kill
and the
themselves.
Commanders go to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Or the Panthers. The Panthers go to the playoffs.
That's the team you traded with. Exactly.
You have old Greg Braggs on Hollis Drive with a paper cup looking for money to get some more funny for CHGO.
Justin Fields threw
Round
for
3,
3,500 yards or something.
Oh,
Oh yeah, exactly.
Man.
and that big beautiful smile he's got, just everywhere.
It won't even be like, oh, they stopped doing this podcast. Like the government will shut it down. I feel like it's like
Put a limit on it. Yeah.
Oh man, Baloney always got the greatest
No,
ideas.
so you can't push it on other people.
You
though.
can't make someone else.
You gotta have your own thing. You have your own.
Well, I guess so. I still think it would be fun. I think Luke could figure out how to do it and not actually be poop, but it would look like poop.
I don't know about that.
Can't give me a good bet, but he can do that.
Did you guys? And this is gonna also sound like a political thing, but it's super not because I don't give a fuck about politics. But have you guys heard that in Aurora, Colorado, there was allegedly some Venezuelan gang members that took over like an apartment complex, right? And so this was like on some of the Twitter or whatever. But then, and I'm like, I know nothing about Colorado, nor do I care. So I saw that or whatever in passing. But then there was a story that on 61st and King Drive,
I saw that
a bunch of Venezuelan gang members like took over an apartment, right? Yeah. So I was like, oh, they're fucking everywhere. Then I was like, I don't know. This sounds like bullshit because I know what 61st and King Drive looks like, and
big bullshit detector on this one.
I was gonna say when you're from the place, you know what neighborhoods are not likely to be taken over by an outside gang. You know that, well, the things probably wouldn't go well if you tried to do something like this. And then it turns out the story was way overblown or whatever. And I was thinking about this, like, I don't know if it's a made-up trope that thing and just like kind of like, oh, well, we'll throw it out here and kind of make people believe stuff on the internet. But it is least believable in a place like Chicago, where we're already considered like a super dangerous place, and not just like modern super dangerous, like Al Capone, this was his city. And even I'm listening to the Godfather book, and they talk about the meeting that they had after Sonny got killed, Treasy, and they invited all the other cities. In the book, they explicitly say they didn't invite Chicago because they're savages and they just don't trust them and didn't want them in there. I was like, man, Chicago's even fucked up in this book right here. So I thought to myself, it had to be bullshit. And of course, it does come out that it was bullshit because, you know, the people that take care of those areas, they wouldn't take too kindly to this sort of thing. But I thought of something. I have a top 5 list. If the attempt here is to scare white people in the suburbs, here are the top 5 places that you could have 32 armed Venezuelans take over, allegedly, and it would scare the shit out of suburban white people. Number 1, Topgolf. Number 2, the Capitol Grill. Number 3, Saks Fifth Avenue as the anchor tenant in their strip mall. Number 4, Starbucks. And then number 5, Home Depot. What do you guys think? Like, if I'm writing this narrative, they got Topgolf on lockdown, man. You can't, people can't get out, and you're not going to get in tomorrow for your round that you were expecting. You know, like, I think I use a little more creativity. 61st and King Drive,
Capitol
my ass.
Grill.
Like,
Capitol Grill's perfect.
I like Capitol Grill. Don't get me wrong. I'm not a hater.
We've been to tons of steakhouses.
We have been
to tons of steakhouses.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
But yeah, Capitol Grill is like the most country clubbish of those motherfuckers.
Yeah,
like,
the most suburban, like chain
I,
restaurant version.
I feel uncomfortable a little bit in there just because I am just waiting. Like if I'm going to the bathroom or something for someone to fucking hand me their plate. Like that's like that. That's like one of the few places where I feel like that. So like I think that's a great call.
Get you a job if you lose yours.
Topgolf is an incredible one. Starbucks is tough.
Really good.
Starbucks is tough.
I
don't know if that one works only because Starbucks would just shut that one down and open another one 15 feet away.
There's plenty of
You know what? That's a good
they
point.
could.
It's
They
not
can mobilize quickly.
Not a crisis. It'll be like you guys can't leave. That's what's gonna happen to Starbucks. They'll just shut it all down around them and they're stuck in there.
Most of the white suburban people don't go to the standalone Starbucks. They go to the one within the Target or some other grocery store or whatever. They're not worried about going to the standalone. And I think your wife has something good too. She says Home Depot ? And then Maloney says, I got 35 Venezuelans at my Home Depot already, Beef. They all seem nice. They'd scare people at Lowe's. And that was kind of what I was thinking too. Lowe's is very whitewashed compared to Home Depot. Home Depot is more like Menards-ish.
I was gonna say Menards.
Menards
is the one that would be a deal because people would be like, because people associate that with, even though it's not, they associate that with being like your local hardware store.
Yes.
Well, I was gonna actually. What came to mind initially was Farm and
compared
Fleet.
to Menards.
But I know that MSS ate Farm and Fleet into bankruptcy from eating all those bullshit peanut butter candies out of them.
They don't produce them anymore. So
well, I know because you begged for them for free. That's why. And they're like, well, we got to cut this guy off.
And Beef, everyone at Farm and Fleet is packed. So they couldn't. They could. It would be a
John
big
Carney
shootout.
says Bed Bath & Beyond going full.
Oh man,
Bed
Bath & Beyond.
Bed Bath & Beyond overtaken by gang members.
I don't know if those exist. Do those still exist?
There's still some.
We should sue them because it's BBB. That's our thing.
Sorry about that.
I liked all those, Beef. I think
not Home Depot. Home Depot's a little weak. Can't all be winners.
We start a terror campaign, Treasy. I got some ideas. That's all I'm saying.
All right.
Oh my God. I'm not going to be involved too.
Internet only, not for real. Just fake made up bullshit is what I'm talking about. That's what
like people fucking couches and shit. You know,
I want to be involved.
Never have.
Normal
Never
stuff.
have. I know.
Let me in.
Well, it might have happened. Just not that guy fucked them. So.
Lonnie says Menards products are such pieces of shit. Venezuelans know not to shop there.
Yeah, well, that's fair.
Hey,
Alex
read that.
Says, do y'all think Costco has MS's picture up on the wall to prevent him from bankrupting them on samples?
Here's the deal. fucking Alex Rude. Your boy doesn't really wait for samples. If the shit is ready to go, I grab it and then I keep walking and I say thank you and I keep
Alex,
moving.
I agree. You're absolutely right, because that's
out.
why MSS didn't get in the altercation in the gas line. He was too afraid he would get banned from the samples. They seen him starting some shit or calling one of their loyal customers a cunt, like Patrick Bertoletti knows MSS did under his breath, but not out loud because he was afraid to get into some shit. He would be kicked out and he would know free samples.
I got a question for MSS. For MSS.
Go ahead.
You are a Costco guy.
I am not that much, but yes,
Costco guy.
How's the chicken bake?
So
delicious.
you're walking through. You're doing your daily pickup of 600 pounds of olive oil.
Listen,
when you see it, you get a good sample. You're like, oh, that shit was good. You circling around? Getting the second one? Like you've never been there?
Nope.
No?
I don't do that because here's why I don't do that. Because we live in a society and there's rules. I want somebody else to get a sample too. And I get mad when I'm
out of here. I can't believe I started that. I'm out of here.
When I see other couples coming up, I'll tell you how I do it though, Treasy. I see other people come up and grab 6 things and then take them back to the cart. No, that's not fair. That you can't do that. That's rude. Like there's people waiting. You can't just grab 6 and then just roll. What I will do though is if the girls are with me, I'll be like, hey, you want to try this? And as much as she'll say, little sis Summer will be like, no, I don't want to try that. And I'm like, let's just try it. And you see if you like it. And she goes, I'm not into it. And then she goes, okay, whatever. And then finally I just have to say under my breath, it's for me. Just fucking take it. And I'll eat it. I'm not going to force you to eat it, but it's for me. So she will take it and then she goes, Dad, I don't like this. I don't want this. So, yeah.
That's right. Nicky Cheer says, everyone should get but I need 182 Frank Thomas bobbleheads.
I was very good last Saturday. I took care of the people that needed them, and I cut some deals with some people, and I did not go and try to buy from anybody because I didn't want to get kicked out of there again. Or my ID.
Yes, again.
Well,
you could have
talked to.
You could have been a hero if you rolled through the 7-line army, or I'll give you guys $10 a bobblehead and just give it
So
you guys got paid out.
You
would have to bring $500.
Yeah.
We've talked about this, but it's just this weird thing where you're like, okay, is demand low because the team sucks and nobody wants it? Or is it just because people were busy? It was a holiday weekend or whatever. It's a risk I wasn't really willing to take. I'm going to get this for $10 and I can't sell it for $25. There's no point, it doesn't make any sense to me. So I got what I needed. I got a good price. I'm happy with where I'm at. And plus my basement is not as packed as I thought it was going to be happening. So
can we get back to the fact though that you said these people will take 6 of these, and you're like, I'll take as many of my children as I have with me, and all for myself.
Well,
because your society is different.
That's different. No, he's taking 1 per person.
There's one per person.
Yeah, I kind of hear what he's saying.
They're over there. And
they ended up deciding they didn't want it, Treasy. But in the moment, they might have wanted it. Who knows?
So he hates the lady with 6 kids.
Also, a lot of times I won't even eat what the kids get because they get it's fucking Mott's fruit snacks.
Right.
I don't need that. I don't want that.
Now we're getting ridiculous here.
Now we're just making up this. Now we're just
certain things. Sometimes,
but this is a good. This is the best weight loss tip he's given, that he doesn't circle back for that. So I won't do that ever again.
Well, there's a lot of things.
Beef. I can't imagine you going to Costco.
Dude, no. I've been to Costco. I've been to Costco one time. It was with our mom, and it was to help her carry some heavy shit. That was it. She bought some heavy shit. And she's like, "Will you come with me? And you have almost no brains, but a big, strong back, and carry all the stuff for me." And yes, of course, yeah, I'd do that for Mama.
That's very nice. I have actually seen your parents at Costco.
Yeah, my parents go. Yeah,
in the wild. Yeah,
fucking so. Costco is very much featured in Idiocracy, and it is a goddamn perfect portrayal. It's I've only gone once in the past year because I don't have any interest. I know Quincy goes, but so, we went on a Saturday because we had to pick up something for a party, and it was so we go in there. it's a fucking madhouse, man. Like,
what day did you go?
I went on a Saturday.
Yeah, stupidest. Fuck, that's the dumbest thing you've ever done.
I didn't have any other option.
My sucks summer. He's got a job, bro.
I didn't have any other option.
What are you gonna do?
You can go after work. It's pretty easy.
And is that better after work?
Yeah.
I couldn't that time. There was no other option.
It's fine. It's fine.
So I went in there, and it's like, you talk about it being a society. Absolutely not. It's a fucking free for all in there.
That is horrible.
I saw someone
worst.
someone was in the sample line. They were hungry. They just ate the person in front of them. There was just like there's fucking no laws inside of Costco. I'm not going back in there.
Mrs. Beef says no one needs 5 pounds of cheese balls. I think MSS would disagree. And then Jackie Trieren says 1 membership should equal 1 sample. Now I see what you're saying there. I'm back on Jackie's side. That's a good point. Shouldn't be able to bogart the
not
samples.
really, though.
If you got 1 membership and you bring 12 people with you.
Here's the deal though. If you have a kid that doesn't eat, and then like you're like, they don't eat those chicken nuggets. I'm not gonna get those. But then they're on sample, and the kid's like, I want to try a chicken nugget, or you're like, here, try it, and they get it. That's a sale. The best way to get somebody to buy something is to try it for free. I mean, it really is. It's a free sample works a lot, and people buy all that stuff when it's on sale. Or on sample. I don't usually, because I'm like, I don't need this.
Because it's free. Why would I buy it?
I'm here for the things. No, like if you're getting to the point, if you got to the point where you know like what your family eats and what everything is, you are the main cook and you're making all this stuff. It's like, I'm not fucking going outside these lines. Like I'll blur them every once in a while, but not with something from Costco. I'm not buying a shitload of stuff.
Mrs. Beef says your kids are in school. He'll just find some other kids and use them to get some free samples if he needs to.
Not all summer. So I don't eat hardly any samples during like the time that they're not in school.
Sample starved.
So just take it easy. Jesus Christ.
I got to bring back up this comment that no one needs 5 pounds of cheese balls. But we did decide this weekend. We were talking cheese balls is a great nickname. Somewhere
we were trying to, we were assigning it to.
We were like trying to find someone.
I think it was Cheeto balls, but then we went to cheese balls. Yeah,
because we were talking about the guy that I used to know that was called Cheeto Dick.
Cheeto Dick,
and we were like, and then we were like, cheese balls might be a good,
good nickname.
Yeah. So then we would have Cheeto Dick and cheese balls. It would be like quite a combo.
So if anyone out there needs a nickname and you want to be cheese balls, reach out and we'll verify. Yeah. We gotta approve this, but still,
anyone want to update their Twitter
profile? Be cheese balls. That'll be absolutely lovely.
Do we have anything else?
I feel like you got more to give me, Beef.
I
got one more thing too. But
that's good. I'm glad. So I want to give a quick. First, I'll give a quick steak dinner update. A steak dinner bet update. So we have only 21 games left in White Sox season. Thank fucking God. It's just been so hard to watch. Even though on Wednesday night, man, they smacked around the Orioles. That was the worst ass beating I've seen in Baltimore, Treasy, since Michael beat up on Naaman in the boxing club. That was an ass whooping last night, the White Sox game. So we got 21 games left. I only have a room for 84 runs for the White Sox to allow. 4 runs a game exactly, okay? Now, that's less than their season average, right? But we only got 21 game sample left. Here, for 12 of their opponents, they have some tough matchups in here because they got the Padres. I think MSS, when we were looking at it before, they got Padres. Obviously, they've got the Red Sox this weekend. Yep. But they got 6 games against the Angels, 3 games against Guardians, and 3 against the Tigers. So out of the 21 games, they have 12 kind of not good offense games. So I feel like I'm drawn pretty live here, guys. What would you give me as odds that I actually win this thing? Take it down.
I'd probably put I think you're probably at like the plus 250 range.
Okay.
Maybe plus 300. Because they are averaging giving up about 5, a little over 5, right? And so you need 4. So, but I mean, I think, as we've all been experiencing lately in Chicago, the fucking rain could come at any point. And you rain out like the last game against the Angels, they ain't playing that.
Right.
That's just you two teams don't deserve a 162nd game.
Right.
Right. Like, so like there's some Beef. There's some chances here. Or you get a rain out in a doubleheader, and in the doubleheader we're talking like teams are kind of phoning it in, and so you might see some of that. Let's get this drink real quick.
Yeah, let's do it.
Jen says, "Cheers, boys. Take a drink because MSS is trying to make people understand his life choices."
I love it. I love MSS's life.
Just trying to defend myself.
He's a Costco guy.
Get attacked all the time.
It's absolutely funny. In the comments, a couple things.
Whoa.
Trey, good to see you during a live show. Says that's the worst breakdown in Baltimore since that bridge. Probably too soon, but I had to read it anyway. Fuck it. And then Alex Root says playoff teams benching guys to get ready could really do me favors. That's a good point I had not thought about, and that actually could happen down the stretch. So that's good.
But it's one differential too, right?
It's just runs a lot.
Runs. It's
runs so if they got the Padres towards the end. If the Padres are kind of locked already, but I don't think they will be. But if they were locked in, you could get some of the big guys. Maybe
they might be pretty locked in though. Like it might be
no chance of division, but locked in the wild cards. Like the season will mean shit kind of thing.
Yeah, because like right now they're 4.5 out of the division.
Okay.
So depending on what happens, I mean, but they're pretty heavily locked into the wild card, I think, right now. So like, yeah, that could be one.
You know what? Here's my 2-cent take. First off, again, I'm always amazed that you were this fucking close in your numbers and how this fucking all works. This is like, this blows my mind every time we talk about it. It's just great. I know you do it for a living, but it's great. It's good. Second, I kind of like, as much as it's fun for you to lose and to watch you be a loser, like online.
Yeah, no, it is.
I don't want Josh Nelson to be that loser. Like, I don't necessarily, I don't want to see him lose and then have to pay it. And because he's like kind of been like, oh, this is happening. I'm going to get this. This is going to be great. I thought the bet was already over. I didn't even know that it was this close. Like, you have a legit shot of still winning.
Legit shots, though.
You have a legit shot. I want Josh Nelson to lose now. I kind of do.
He's been gloating a lot. He's been gloating a lot out there, and I think that's where, like a nice, like if they go to Boston this weekend and only give up 6 runs over the weekend, he's gonna feel the footsteps. He'll feel the footsteps if they hold down Boston for the weekend. Like,
you just hope that they don't.
Nice.
You just can't do this 13-run, 12-run game shit.
The Baltimore,
holy God,
that was brutal. I just need him at least to sweat real hard towards the end of this. This is that's what I need. Even if I end up losing, I want a good sweat all the way down to the end. So that's all I'm really hoping for.
Yeah.
But 84 runs, 4 runs a game. Yeah. We got a shot.
You got a shot.
MSS, what else do you have?
Oh, my only last one was, and Loaf brought this up in a group chat, but like we were listening to the score today afternoon because friend of the show 108, our guy Eddie over there, they've had us over at Barstool several times. Dave doubled down kind of today and said we'll have you on one of our platforms to talk about this. That's awesome. That would be that's like kind of a dream.
Yeah, about the Getz versus Hahn thing. Yeah, I think we'd love to talk with them about that.
Great fucking banter, because I don't think even the 3 of us agree on like all
of
the nuances.
We do not. No,
because you 2 might be against me. But it's just like it's a hard thing. But anyway, so tuning in, supporting our guy Eddie in the afternoons. Our former friend Shane Reardon, we got booked him on the show geniusly. It was great.
I feel like I'm still friends with them.
I want to be. I call him a loser in a blog, but I still want to be friends with him. I like him. I still like Shane a lot.
I've tried. I'm chalking it up to that. Like, no one wants to talk about White Sox stuff. I'm associated with the White Sox stuff, so we're just not going to talk to him. Like, and that's fine. No big deal.
Or I ruined your friendship with him. I'm sorry.
I didn't do anything, but that's fine. I guess I'll take the bullet, because I've taken the grace too when you've done something good and I've gotten the good stuff. So I got to take the good with the bad.
That's correct.
But the one thing that was very odd, they had a guy from US 99 on who's a Tennessee Titans fan, and they were talking to him, and they brought up the Steve McNair Untold story. Like, initially, like, to kind of razz this dude. They're like, oh, so like, you should be watching the Untold story about Steve McNair. And if you don't know, like, he was murdered by this girl that he met at like Dave and Buster's, allegedly. They don't really know what happened, but she was like a murder suicide. People that found her, they don't know how this all like shook out. The documentary, the Untold story, didn't really like give you a ton of new information or anything, and it's like kind of unresolved. But so anyway, they brought it up one time, and the guy's like, oh, too soon, let's not Let's not talk about that. And he's joking with them too, right? It gets fucking brought back up like 19 more times. Like it just and
to be clear, it was not Eddie bringing it up.
No,
it was Matt Spiegel and Shane Reardon kept bringing it up on this guy, and I was like, it got a little weird. Where I was like, this is way too much for a guy that like. Yeah, the guy got murdered.
I'd heard the initial thing. You said something. I was like, I need to go and listen to the whole thing and just make sure it was just that, because I'll be like, that's not that bad. But no, it was mentioned like 3 or 4 more times. And it was like, this is just odd. Like, so I'm thinking in this in my head. And like, as I'm sitting here, you're thinking about the internet and how people react to things and whatnot. And it's like, the guy was like on a soapbox, and we're talking about Spiegel, was on a soapbox against an announcer in the Chicagoland area for mispronouncing a person's name. That had a lot to do with history in Chicago baseball on both sides, and how that was a fucking smack in the face to everybody, every fan in Chicago. He was doing horrible things and blah, blah, blah. So I'm thinking, there's no way in hell this guy's making a joke about a murder-suicide to get one over
like 7
on
times.
A guy that's like against another football team.
Let's reverse it. Let's reverse it and say, like, one of us is getting interviewed about the Bears, right? And someone just keeps bringing up like Alonzo Spellman. It'd be like, what?
What's your problem?
Why are you bringing this up?
What is wrong with
like we got a game this Sunday? Like I want to talk about Caleb. I want to talk about the. I'll talk about Will Levis. I'm just fine. But why are we talking about Alonzo Spellman? Like that would be like that's similar. And I know that there wasn't just a documentary released about Alonzo Spellman, but
maybe there should be though.
It is similarly fucking strange to talk about.
But like McNair,
and now my friendship with Shane has ended.
We don't know.
No, just
Baloney says that shit was so out of pocket they kept going back to it. Yeah, it got uncomfortable. As I say, sometimes things get uncomfortable. You try some jokes or whatever, but it is weird to keep going back to the dead guy as the joke. Like it was off-putting to me.
The murdered guy. It wasn't even like he was just like the dead guy. Like he was killed by somebody, and then potentially the person that killed him killed him.
I mean, flashing the fake picture of Marco Patti a lot of times, that's not off-putting. That's just kind of fun and goofy and dumb, right? So that's okay.
Horny.
But I'm not. Okay,
listen,
yeah, you're right.
I'm not overly judging something, but don't like claim a fucking like a moral high ground on one thing and be like people,
that's fine.
And then fucking do like jokes about murder suicide to somebody because sport. So like, you just try to keep it consistent-ish, or not go too hard either way.
Let me ask: what's MSS? How many?
Suicide, maybe don't make other jokes.
How many McNair jokes you think is within reason in that bit?
The way that it got treated to the first time that came up, and the way no one really brought it back up except for 2 other people, I think you should have had one, and that was it. Like you
just kill it after one.
The water, you kill it. Yes, bad analogy, but or a bad pun, but yeah.
One murder suicide.
One murder suicide. That's fine.
Jeff Passan 4 times.
I do want to bring this comment up just because I saw it and I thought it was great. It's from our friend Jen. She says, "Am I at my local Mexican restaurant for karaoke night while listening to this?" Yep. And there is a small child singing the song from Frozen. It's better than the socks.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah. Can't disagree.
You should have put hashtag better than at the ballpark.
Alex, even though you're a dick and you've been a dick to me in the comments tonight, well, not overly, but yours, the Hope Solo one they just released this past Tuesday, fucking chef's kiss, dude. It's great. You should watch that. I didn't know the whole story about Hope Solo, but she was really awesome.
MSS, if you want to be a dick back, read this as it's written.
All the reviews on that doc, I saw we panning it instead of we're panning it.
I wanted a better we out of you. I wanted like
wee.
Oh man, then you can clip that. That's all right. I know what you're doing.
I'm trying.
I'll do whatever you want. I'll send you a video. I got a hype video going, so we'll get there.
All right, Beef. You got anything else you want to get to?
I do not, man.
You're all out. Then I think it's time for thank yous.
I was waiting for
GFYs. Beef, who you thinking or GFY?
My GFY goes to 670 the score for stealing my idea that Eddie Farr, better known as Eddie Barstool, should be on that afternoon show hosting. It was only one day today, but it was really good radio. And I messaged John Greenberg. He was convinced that the idea was stolen from me, in fact. So GFY for stealing, but it worked out great because the show was very listenable. I listened to the whole goddamn thing. Nice job, boys.
Are you saying that you manifested that?
I may have manifested this. Yeah, I may have brought it about. It may be because of the beef loaf. You can drink for that.
MSS, who are you thinking?
So as you guys know, and fans of ours know, I'm a huge Howard Stern fan. He came back this week, first 2 live shows this week, had me laughing, which is really good for him. So he's well rested and is making people happy. Now, there was a lot of obituaries that he went through, and Richard Simmons, Agent Don Buchwald, all these people that had passed away, but she snuck in here at the end, and Angry Alice, who was a member of the Whack Pack, passed away. And if you're not a fan of the Howard Stern show, the Whack Pack is all the crazy people that he has that just are kind of surround him and surround the show. She was a self-hating black woman who lived in California, but she was hilarious. She was in love with Fred Norris, who is the guy that plays all the sound effects. And she would call in and tell everyone to go fuck themselves and then say how much she loved Fred. It was a great time. And Alice's catchphrase and how she would end all her calls in, she would say, "Arrivederci, cocksucker." So, arrivederci, cocksucker to you, Angry Alice. Thank you for all the years of entertainment. I appreciate you being there. It was fun. I really, a lot of people died, and like that one I felt the most. I was like, oh man, I loved her calling in because she was always so afraid of everything, but also so full of hate. So she was fun, and enjoyed having her around. Chorizo, GFYing or TYing? What are you doing?
Or TFing?
All of that. I'm TFing, man. So, but I'm gonna thank our guy Beefloaf because we've been talking about like, all right, what are we gonna talk about for some of these episodes, and tonight we're going against the first NFL game of the year, and Beef sends out an agenda, and I'm gonna read you something from the agenda. So this is the second half of the show. You
should just show it.
It says stuff, a couple things, probably something offensive. I think we covered
them all.
I appreciate for the detailed outline that you gave us for that, and it
manifested the whole Steve McNair thing. Good job. So many manifested.
Could have gone better.
Thank you all for tuning in. We'll talk to you soon. Have a good night.
Cheers.